Hey folks, so yes, there have been a number of earthquakes in Los Angeles, which is where I am at the moment, but they haven't been particularly bad where I've been. The first one was when I was in my hotel, and honestly, I thought it was one of the cleaning ladies, like, rumbling some big cleaning trolley down the hall, very aggressively. That's what it felt like, because, I mean, things were shaking, but it wasn't... It wasn't terribly alarming, and it was only because it went on longer than the trolley going past. It went on for longer than that I realised that it was actually an earthquake. And then again, last night I was at dinner with some friends, and we had an earthquake there as well. That one was, I think, a 6.1, something like that, and the previous one was a 7.1, a 6.4, and then a 7.1. But there have been a slew of smaller earthquakes throughout the night that I slept through, thankfully, of about 3 to 4 magnitude. There has been some damage in some parts of Los Angeles, or so the LA Times are reporting. I guess we'll have a look at that. 7.1 earthquake causes damage, more significant tremblors likely. A magnitude 7.1 earthquake struck Southern California near Ridgecrest. The July 4th 6.4 magnitude trembler was the largest in nearly 20 years, followed by an aftershock that was 5.5 in magnitude. Scientists said the fault causing the quakes appears to be growing, which I'm sure is no cause for concern. Why did I leave England? The main damage has been to about 3,000 residents in Ridgecrest and the surrounding areas that are without power after the earthquake. In Los Angeles itself, there was no immediate reports of major damage to buildings, infrastructure, according to the LA Fire Department. The LA Times gives us some information about minor and sort of personal damage to houses and buildings and things like that, like collapsed fireplaces and whatnot, which is obviously terrible, but I suppose a hazard of living in Los Angeles. There's a place called Trona that suffered significant damage, apparently, with houses knocked off their foundations, and gas leaks and collapsed buildings are being reported. And they're sending in the California National Guard with about 200 man security forces to go and assist with the cleanup and repair. So it could have been worse. I'm not aware of any deaths that have been caused by it. They also have an input from an expert who says that apparently it's unusual to have a pattern where a 6.4 foreshock was followed by a 7.1 event, only to be followed by a bigger quake, but that doesn't mean it can't happen. Apparently this is clearly a very energetic sequence, and there's no reason to think we can't have more large earthquakes. And apparently Los Angeles is something like 20 years overdue for a massive one. But I was speaking to a few people, and apparently it's actually more encouraging that it's been fairly large, but with other minor shocks broken up afterwards. I suppose it's just the release of whatever energy is required that is forcing these things to shift underground. But yeah, so hopefully we don't get a giant one that kills us all. And hopefully, if that does happen, I've left beforehand. According to a seismologist there, the aftershocks could go on for months, if not years. So who knows, man? But at the moment, everyone is safe and sound. Like I said, there's been no reports, as far as I can see, of casualties, which is excellent. Just a bit of property damage, which sucks, and inconveniencing. But it's interesting how there is a real tension here from the people who are living here in regards to this when they talk about it. It really is like living under the sword of Damocles, and they are expecting the horse head snap at any point. It really is a kind of nervousness when they're talking. Like, you can feel like, oh god, this could be just a random event that kills us all. You know, it's genuinely quite a worrying thing, and it's one of those things that I always look at and think, why would you live in an earthquake area then? Why would you build Hollywood there? Why would you build Silicon Valley nearby? You know, you would think you would do this sort of stuff in a very safe area, but I guess the weather's worth it. But yeah, so don't worry, I'm fine at the moment. I'm sure we will continue to be fine. I've got some interesting stuff coming up later on today.